So we're out here at the mechanic hives. We got a lot of bees moving around bringing in pollen. Hive number 1. And hive number 2. Oh, that one's on its back. It's got some orange pollen. Some white pollen. And this hive here.
Hi, buddy.
And this hive here. We have to clean these up just a little bit. We'll see you in a second. We're at hive number 1 out here. Check in here. This is the 2 deeps and a super. Get a little smoke before we go inside here. Try not to smoke my bees too much. They are naturally calm. That's excellent. So these guys, little girls, no hive beetles, no queen. Like that. Just do a quick glance in here. This is the one that nailed these hives from the top. They did not realize that you got a nail from the side too. So these bees are doing pretty good. No honey in that. Next one. Drawing this one out a little bit. Left over. Some of these frames need extra wax on them. They're wax foundation. He was buying these hive bodies off of Amazon. So we still got honey here, both sides. So that's good. But they don't wax them the best, so I'll get these out of here at some point in the spring and re-wax them. Let's get into the next box. Carry this up front. Yeah, this is really light. Again, the bees are starting to draw. A little comb in between here. Smoke. Comb off. Try not to get the bees. Get my frame holder. Oh yeah, a lot of burr comb on this. This needs to be re-waxed, pulled out of here. Get to that in the spring. Looking for some brood. Ooh, this is a heavy honey frame. All honey. Plenty of stores. Gently here. Gently pry these apart without trying to squish the bees. Oh yeah, we got some brood. That's a nice brood pattern. See if we can find the queen. I try not to look too long.
I don't think I got a glimpse of her over here, but maybe I might have just saw pollen.
Pollen on it. Check the other side here. You got a waggle dance going on. Got some larvae in here. The sun might not be, lighting might not be the best to get down in there to see the larvae. It's at the bottom of the brood there. Frame's upside down right now. A little waggle dance going on, telling the bees where the food's at. Let's see the queen on that one. Well, that is a good brood frame. Try not to squish a bee. See if I got that one. Oh well. It happens. You're bound to lose a couple bees. Just try to be as careful and not stun them too much. Again, all these bees have been really good about being calm and not really flying in our face. Oh yeah, this is a good frame here. All that brood. And on this side you can see I got capped and larvae. Let's see if we can get an angle here so the camera can catch the white pearls there in the middle. It's more than likely that's emerged and then recapped already. I do not see the queen. You don't always see her. Looks like we got some drone brood already at the bottom. Let's see if I can do this without squishing any bees. Down here, these are, looks like those are going to be some early drones. Let's set this back down. And let's do one more frame here. This is a heavy one, got a lot of honey on it, and pollen. And I don't see the queen. That's all honey on that side. This is all pollen on this side. So as the bees expand out, we will get in deeper and spread this out and give them an empty frame closer to the brood, so the queen will have more empty frames to lay in. My eyes aren't always the best. Sometimes I have to use a magnifying glass to look down in between here. We're just going to set this back in, and that'll be the end of this hive. We do not see the queen today, but that's okay. We know she's here because of all the brood. Let's slide this all back together gently. We're not going to worry about getting into the bottom box. The bees are doing well up here. These outside frames are just going to need to have some additional wax put on them later. We will close this one up. Move on to the second hive. Alright, here we are, second hive. I store my queen excluders. This is a plastic one. Store it right up inside the telescoping lid. Give this one a little smoke too. Light smoke. Oh yeah, they finished off their sugar I had on them. And see, sometimes I make the mistake of not looking at the inner cover, and one time I did that and the queen was on there. Luckily I found her before I squished her or lost her. Let's get rid of some of this paper. These don't need all this paper. They will drag it out of the hive, and it's interesting to watch them pull it out. I have a previous video from a couple years ago when they pulled some paper out. Might add that for you. So let's get into this second frame here. This is a deep on the bottom and a medium on top. And it's still full of honey. Put my frame rest on here. I don't like setting my frames on the ground. Always afraid that I'm gonna squish the queen, or if I miss the queen and she ends up out there. And I'm sure, you know, every beekeeper has this issue where they'll be holding a frame and it slips out of their hand, and if the queen's on it, it's no good. Oh boy. Yeah, they're dragging the honey out, or the paper out down at the bottom here, this bottom box. They're putting pollen in this super. And we got some brood. Bees always like to put the pollen next to the brood, so it's easy to feed the new bees coming. You don't have to go far, but there's our brood pattern right there. Looking for the queen. And with the honey next door. Might reverse this box and put this on the bottom. I do not see the queen. We got good brood. Pop this next one gently. There we go. A lot of brood there. Looking for the queen. Not a brood there. Say the queen likes to go to the dark side of the frame, so if the first side you have has the sun on it, people say to look at the back side first. So there's the back side. And there's larvae and eggs on that side, so the queen should be nearby. I am not seeing her. Look on the other side. And you don't have to see the queen, just you want to see evidence that the queen's still alive by the laying of eggs and the brood. And we're out here. We got pollen coming in this side. So I'll do a quick look at the bottom box. Make sure that, see if the queen's laying down there at all. Slide these back together. Squeeze them slow. The bees will move out of the way as you pull the Death Star trash compactor. We got our next one. All right. So we've got a good amount of bees in this hive. Let's just quickly check the next one. Nope. One got me through the glove. Right there on the edge. It happens. Luckily I'm not allergic. I'll just have some localized swelling later. But you know it when they get you. So that one probably got me because I squished it as the bent my wrist. There's some paper they were dragging out. They pretty much wiped out the honey in this frame. Let's get down to the next, these other frames here. I'm going to push these over. If you move too quick, you can see them how they just jump up and fly at you. You don't want to do that. You want to keep them relaxed, be deliberate in your movement. Not too herky-jerky. So we got pollen on this frame. Let's check the next frame. Bees have a tendency to want to move up. So queen might be down here, might be up there. I don't know. Oh, we got brood down here. A little bit of brood here. I don't see the queen. Set this back in. So that's good. The queen's working both top and bottom.
The bees stay in my leg.
Yep. These girls are getting a little rough. That's okay. Let's check this one. We're going to put this back together after this frame. We got brood again. Some brood on this side. Let's see if I can see the eggs. Yep. Got some larvae. We definitely have a queen. A good amount of bees left from the winter. We're going to put this one back together and move on to the third hive. Okay, getting into hive number 3 now. Take a quick look underneath here. I don't see any hive beetles. I don't see the queen. Let's set this front here. Light smoke. Now you got to work with the wind. The bees, they sense that smoke and they give off a little shout. And this is a double deep, so hopefully we have a full frame of brood somewhere in here. And there's a pretty good frame of brood right off the bat. Second frame in. Got to be careful you don't roll your queen as you're pulling your frames out. Rolling your queen means killing your queen, because you push too much pressure on her when in between the frames. So that's a good brood. We got larvae in there. So looking pretty darn good. We can take a quick look at the next frame. We're gonna look at the edge frame real fast since the bees are so far out already, and work our way in. This feels pretty light, so yeah, this is all pollen. It's all pollen on there. Fingers getting full of propolis. Another good frame of brood. Real good frame. Oh wow. Yep. Another one rocking it out. So what I might do here is see how far over the brood goes and then push these frames more towards the center. I try not to do too much manipulation like again in March, especially early March, but we have these unseasonably warm days right now. I mean, it's currently 70 degrees, about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's some solid brood. They're still eating that honey. I don't see the queen. So these are doing great. So that's 3 frames of brood. Let's get into this next one. this one. Looks like we got eggs. Looking for the queen. Get a little windy. Try to block the. There's definitely eggs in this one. I do not see the queen, but then we have some burr comb there. We'll have to fix that later in the year. I want to fix it right now, but yes, the queen is laying here. Let's check this side real quick. Try to use the sunlight to look down into the cells. I'm gonna put this up here. It's hard to tell. They shine them up nice, so they're ready to go. Yeah, so we got these 3 frames here. Let me squish this back together. And then I'm going to go out here, check these, because I don't think there's any bees out here. Wow. Breaking apart. That's the propolis from the bees. So let's see what we got here. This one's an empty frame, ready to draw. We're going to stick that on the outside for now because it looks like it needs some more wax. And I have some other frames that I can swap in here from the dead outs and use that for when I. And this is an old frame. It looks like it needs to be moved out and melted down. I'm going to leave that out here for now. Check the next one. Oh yeah, this one still has some honey. This is a good one. So I'm going to move that on this side. And we're going to push these bees over to the center. This frame of brood right here. Drop that back in. You don't want to chill your brood, so if it's not above 50 degrees, I would not pull your brood out and leave it out like I just did. But it's 70 degrees here today, central Indiana. We're not going to worry about going down to the bottom box. These bees are looking good. Find the queen another day. I'm just going to throw this back on top. I'm going to have to make a screen for this one. Keep the bees down. For now, I'm just going to put newspaper I had on them for the winter. Keep them in there. I'm just going to put them back on. There we go. Newspaper off. The bees seal this really well. Pop this lid. It's the 4th hive, the last hive of the day. A little smoke before we get into them. A little sugar left. No hive beetles that I see, which is great. I don't like it when the hive beetles are in through the winter. But it happens. I'm just going to take this sugar off. Get rid of it. Where we're at here is it's a 10-acre property and then has a whole farm field out here. And then 10-acre properties next to it all the way along. So. Sounds like somebody's shooting today. I just feel like they're empty. And they are. That's the first one. Let's get into the next one here. Taking all the food off of that one. I did bring a honey super from a dead out that I might throw on here if they're low on food at this point, because it's moving a lot. But oh, we got some honey up here. That's good. There we go. There's a little bit of honey there. Looks like they uncapped it. Oh, there's our hive beetle. Sometimes what I do is I'll take the hive frame and I'll just do a quick tap, and there's our beetle. I only do that if there's very few bees on the frame. We got more honey here. And another hive beetle. Right down there at the bottom. Let's see if we can get rid of it. Oh. Where'd it go? It's still there. Beetles do not like the sunlight, so if you can get the sun on them, they try to get out of it. Doesn't look like it wants to move. Come out. Nope.
It's right there by Brick.
Got it. Yeah. It's no fun when you walk into a hive and the beetles slimed it out. I don't know if that's more disappointing than the bees starving or not, but yeah, bees are eating good here. This is potential swarm cell in the future. Get rid of that. I want these bees to swarm. Can't tell if there's larvae up there or not. I don't know if it's a trick from the light or what.
Angle it towards me. Looks like honey.
Right in here?
Oh yeah, there's larvae.
Yep. Looks like larvae to me. Yep, there's definitely larvae now. I see it. So, queen's around here somewhere. Let's get into the next box. Squeeze this all back together. Thing I like about this hive tool is this hook, being able to place it in between frames like this and squeezing gives you a little more leverage, or as they say in the Pirates of the Caribbean, the proper leverage. Let's take this off. As I throw my lid on the ground, and then I'm able to put any supers on top of it crossways to keep them off the ground. Get rid of this clump of sugar. Looks like these outer frames might be empty. So we're going to start at frame number 2 here. There's nothing on this frame. It's got some wax on it. Probably use some more. I'll have to relabel that one to 24. Uh-oh. This one just pulled the part of the frame here. I'll have that. There's a nice clean frame. Nice yellow. It hasn't really had brood in it yet. It looks like it might have had some brood right here at one time. But your comb will start out nice and yellow. Like that, and then when the queen lays in it, it turns it darker every time. The bees emerge. Okay. So we have plenty of honey here. Plenty of honey on this side. Like I said, I broke this frame. Tapped and did not want to hang on. I'll just get rid of that. Replace that later. I'm looking for cat brood. We should be finding right here. There's a lot of bees. This is where we were in the top box. Plenty of honey. I don't see any brood in this frame. It's all honey. Might put sugar off. These don't need that anymore.
Let me see the bottom real quick. Yeah, there's all pollen.
Should be getting into brood here now. Check it out. Nope. Some pollen there. Some pollen here. I'm not seeing. There's just too much honey. That's why there's eggs in the other. It might be down at the bottom here. We're gonna have to go into the deep box, the bottom box on this one. This is all honey. So yeah, we're good on resources. Switch these back together.
It's a chipmunk.
Uh-oh.
It's the bottom of a frame.
Bottom of a frame falling off. There we go. Got a lot of bees down here. So let's check down here. See what we got going on. Let's give these a little smoke. It's changing directions on this. Start out here. Empty frame. Got some pollen there.
Hang on. Let me see. No, it was just the light. I thought I saw eggs.
Lots of pollen here. Got some red pollen coming in. These are looking pretty good. They're cap brood. I should have cap brood like the other hives. Oh, here we go. There we go. There's our cap brood. And this is a medium frame that I left in here, and they drew it out to the bottom. This was a hive I had trouble with last year. They were short. They went to swarm, and They didn't re-clean themselves, so I had to throw some eggs in here. And I took it from this frame here, and they re-cleaned, but I never got this frame out. So there's our brood. So it's interesting, we got brood down here and brood all the way up at the top. This is capped, the other was open. I'm going to take another look at that. I'm going to put this back together. Check that top, make sure the queen's not up there. If she is, I'll shake her down. Oh, there's our good brood. That's what we want to see. That is beautiful. I just wish we could find the queen. Again, beautiful. Lots of brood. These bees will be doing well. We've got some drone brood over here again. Get some drones uncapped there. Next frame. Oh yeah. Looking really good. Not seeing the queen. Yeah, there we go. We got some good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze these back together. Fractured another frame. These out of the way. Put this empty frame in between here. I have to say that was my first sting of the year, March 3rd, 2024. Probably the last sting I'll keep track of. As a beekeeper, when you're early on, you keep track of every sting, and then you get to a point where you lose track and it's hard to keep count, and it really doesn't matter because you're going to get stung as a beekeeper. Most I ever got stung at one time was, I think, 13 times. It was in the rain. I had a bare-handed glove. I had to take my gloves off and go barehanded to get into the hive. I was trying to manipulate something in the rain. I couldn't do it with the gloves on, and that was a mistake because the bees went right up my sleeve and got me pretty darn good. And then I had another hive, a hot hive, out at the farm, and they got nasty with me. They were all over me, stinging me. I don't know how many times I got stung that day because they were going through my suit. It was a very hot day, and when you're very hot, the suit sticks to you a little bit, so a little less air gap, and the bees got into me pretty darn good that day. I might have got stung more than 13 times that day, but it was no fun. I walked away from that hive 2 times hoping they'd calm down, kept smoking them, and that did not stop them from trying to sting me, so I just put them together after that when I went back the 3rd time and called it a day. I use my magnifying glass. Yeah, there's larvae all the way up here, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is, but there is larvae in there, but I don't see any eggs. Using my magnifying glass. Yeah, that's all larvae, so hopefully the queen works her way back down if she's up here. We'll come back in a month and we'll reorganize this hive. I'll swap out the bottom box and get it back to the Hoover hive box, and it belongs to them out here. Get my box back. Like I said, I used a Snell Grove board last year, had the bees separated, had the queen in the bottom, put the eggs up here on the top. It requeened, took that out. The bottom queen had disappeared at that point, so it worked out really well having using that. I'll show you a Snell Grove board later on in the year when we get into April and May. But this is my 10th year of keeping bees, my 11th year of following bees. I recommend, if you are interested in bees, to find your local bee club. That's what I did. Through one of my coworkers at work, they said their cousin was a beekeeper, but he was off serving in the military over in Iraq. And so he hooked me up with a gentleman named Jerry Bondurant. And he was my mentor that first year. And the bee club will help you a lot. I go to the White Lick Beekeepers. We meet in Mooresville, and second Wednesday of every month, except we're meeting on Thursdays right now because it's tax season and the library uses the Wednesdays for people doing their taxes. So, but thank you again. Please subscribe, keep on watching, let me know what you want to see, and I'll just keep showing you what we do here. I'm David. Jordan's on camera today. Jordan will get back out in front of the camera one of these days. She did that one video last year, and you can see how we've progressed from there. We're trying to get regular videos coming out every couple of weeks here now. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.